It has been a little bit. I kind of had to unplug from the world and everything I was doing and just kind of like focus on myself for a little bit. And I'll tell you why now. So the two funded accounts I had, so the 50K and the 25K, I did end up losing both. Full transparency. I don't care, to hide anything from you guys. I lost both accounts, and the reason being was because I found myself looking for other strategies. I found myself looking at other videos of people trading, and I tried to essentially just remove how I trade for whatever reason and trade how they trade, right? And that is what ended up just screwing me over essentially. So it's completely my fault. I'm not putting the blame on anything or anyone else. It's completely my fault. I guess I got to the point where now that I had a funded account, I just wanted, big profits, and thinking like that, pretty much made me lose the account. Okay. So again, I had to just disconnect from everything. I had to reanalyze what it is I'm doing wrong, and I had to work on myself. Okay. And I'm glad to say that I feel like I'm to the point where I know where I went wrong and I know how to correct it, and now I'm back to my old ways, back to the ways that got me those funded accounts in the first place. And yeah, so all is good so far. I don't have a new funded account. I'm actually working on that now currently. And on the screen you're looking at a trade that I took this morning that I do want to break down for you guys. It was a really nice trade, and we'll go from there. But before that, this is the new FTMO account that I'm working on. So this is still a challenge. 25K. I have swing type here, and as you can see, we started off pretty rocky, negative essentially $230. Brought it back up, negative again, 400, and now we're minus $100. So just shy of break even, which I'm not concerned about. Haven't broken any of the rules yet. We have a 50% win rate so far, but that's just because we've taken 4 trades, lost 2, won 2. It says number of trades 10. I actually do know why. I actually might have been because I'm taking partials. So every time I take a partial, that kind of counts as a trade since I'm closing a portion of the position, and that's why it did this. But anyways, as you can see, equity right now is 24,898. Risk to reward is 0.86. It's still positive. Again, being very, very, very cautious and being very safe when it comes to profits. So I now always take partials, and some people don't like doing that. Some people like waiting for their trade to hit TP or hit stop loss, whatever the case is. But I think it's actually, I've learned that it's actually very important to take partials. Reason being is for this trade specifically, I had a 1 to 2. Let's just leave it right there for now. I had a 1 to 2, and I did take it off the 1 minute chart, right? So let's say, where is this at? Okay, so let's say we took our entry, boom, price just blew up how it did. All of a sudden starts retracing, goes up a little bit more, retraces, goes up a tiny bit, retraces, goes up more, and then just boom, melts past your stop loss, and that's it. That's the end of the trade. You could have closed out at any point pretty much. Find this damn pencil. You could have taken partials here, could have taken partials here, could have taken partials here when it came back up. Anywhere, literally anywhere. Even if it's coming down here, you could have taken partials. Here you could have closed out. Anywhere. But instead, you wanted to hit your TP or your stop loss, whichever one. And in this scenario, it ended up hitting your stop loss. So you lost a winning trade essentially. I found myself doing that a lot, and I'm always I was always thinking, you know, why am I losing these trades that I was always winning? So I was always winning in these trades, always winning to profit a certain amount. For example, never closed out, wanted more profit, wanted my TP, ended up losing the trade. Right, so this is not the case anymore. Now I take partials, I get my profits, and I find that's the safest way to, you know, one of the safest ways to essentially grow an account. But now for the juicy part of this video, let me go ahead and just hide this really quick, and let me hide all the drawings. Okay, so I am on replay mode, just because there's a lot of movement after this, so I just want you guys to focus on this area, which is where I took my trade, and I'll show you guys now. So on the daily, at this point, when I took the trade this morning on the daily, we were still heading down, but we hadn't made the high of the day yet, right? So we're still heading down, candle open, we went straight down, hadn't made the high of the day, and on the 1 hour, I saw this here. So on the 1 hour, I saw this order block here. Oh, I'll just leave it there. Well, this is not drawn on. Let me see. I saw this hour order block that was made days ago and hasn't been touched, right? And we also see that price hit this other order block in here, which is in between these white lines, and that blue line is a fair value gap, right? This was just one that I drew out as it happened here, but these in here and this one was what I was paying attention to, and then this big blue square box is actually a daily fair value gap that it hit and, as you can see, rejected. But back to the 5 minutes, I saw that price essentially hit that fair value gap, it hit that hourly order block, and it started pushing up, consolidated a little bit, but it never broke these lows and it never broke these lows, so that made me think that it doesn't want to go lower, right? It doesn't want to go lower, so I was looking for a buy that day, or this morning. And what I did was this. So looked at the charts pretty much right in here. As soon as I turned on my computer, that's where price was, and it started pushing up immediately. So as I saw price pushing up and heading away from the fair value gap in the hourly order block, I marked out these equal highs that it took out, but I also marked it out as a break of structure. So a shift in the structure, confirming that there could be potential buys, right? So let's pretend I didn't have this fib yet. Price was still heading up, boom, boom, boom. Once it got to here, and I saw that this candle rejected this area up here, and it closed bearish, I put my fib from this wick to that wick and waited for price to come at or below this 50% level, which is the equilibrium, and it's also a discounted level. And I also drew out this fair value gap right in here. So this blue box is where I wanted to enter the trade, right at this 50% level, because it is a, you know, discounted price. Essentially, it's the equilibrium of this move here, and it is inside this fair value gap. So let me move this over a little bit. So I got in here in this exact candle. Candle pushed up a little bit, came back down, and then it started going up, and then 9:30 hit. 9:30 was insane. I was actually watching it at the time. It pushed all the way down, still respecting the fib, still respecting the OTE, still respecting the fair value gaps in here, and there's also one in here that it hit and rejected, and just continued to push up. But on the 1 minute, I was looking at this. All right, so again, my TP, let me just put this here. So my TP was a 1 to 2. Okay, it was a 1 to 2. It did hit that 1 to 2, but again, partials. I was taking partials. So my first partial I took at this wick right here. So that was the first one, and I removed 50% of my position size. After that, I looked over to the right and I saw this up here. This was my second level of my partial that was taken, and it's also pretty close to the -27 extension on the fib, and that's where I took my my other partial. No, I'm lying to you. I'm so sorry. I'm lying to you. Yeah, no, I lied just now about lying to you. This is where I took out my second partial. TP was just about a 1.54 after it actually stopped me out. So after I took out these partials here, price continued to just skyrocket. As soon as price got to down here, it started we get this pencil. It started to retrace a little bit. So once it got down here, I waited for a small little push up, and I actually put my stop loss right here at the top of this at where the TP is. Pretty much that's where my stop loss was, and I got stopped out there. But as you can see, it did push down a little bit, came back up, but it just melted after this trade. Absolutely melted. Okay, so this was just a small little trade breakdown that I took, and I'll show you guys right here, which was a buy US 100 cash. If you guys don't know, that is the symbol for FTMO for NASDAQ, and this is my position right here. So I did 0.60. First partial was taken with a 0.30, half of the position. Second partial was taken with a 0.15, half of the 0.30, and then last but not least, that last 0.15 that was left running got stopped out. So totaling the trade of $345 for the day. Still looking good. I'm not too concerned about being negative. You know, I know what I can do, honestly, and you know, I'm taking this with a grain of salt. I'm taking the losses with a grain of salt. I always want to move forward from them and try to look for new opportunities, you know, in the next morning. And yeah, so this was just a little trade that I did take. I hope you guys like these breakdown videos, because if you do, I will do more. I actually enjoy making them. I will do more, and I'm also going to do more videos of trading live. I'm actually doing one tomorrow, God willing. And yeah, so please leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys for sticking with me. You know, I tend to disappear a little bit here and there, but it's just to realign myself with the charts, especially, and come back even stronger. So thank you guys for watching, and till next time.